Mr. President.
The Majority Leader.
So on AI. Yesterday, Mr. President, I met with a bipartisan group of senators, 2 Democrats, including myself, and 2 Republicans, to talk about spearheading our bipartisan efforts to focus on comprehensive AI legislation. Our group agreed that because AI technology is developing so quickly, Congress has to move fast. Over the past several weeks, my staff and I have met with close to 100 CEOs of companies who do AI, scientists, AI academics, leaders in the industry of many different viewpoints, and critics of AI. And I plan to continue to do this. If harnessed responsibly, AI has the power to do tremendous things for the public good. It can unlock unimaginable marvels in medicine, business, national security, science, and so many other areas of life. But if left unchecked, AI has the power to do tremendous harm. It can accelerate misinformation, breed new forms of racial prejudice, create severe economic disruptions, and hinder human agency in the most severe of ways. So let me make a few observations in light of my conversation and our meeting. First, as I said a month ago, Congress must move quickly. Many AI experts have pointed out that the government must have a role in how this technology enters our lives. Even leaders of the industry say they welcome regulation. So if we're to fulfill our role properly, our approach to AI must be fast-moving. We can't move so fast that we do flawed legislation, but there's no time for waste or delay or sitting back. We got to move fast. Second, our group also agreed that any approach must be bipartisan. AI technology already touches virtually every industry, field, and facet in our society. So our process must be collaborative and must draw from a broad and bipartisan range of views and issues. And third, we think we have a good case study for how the bipartisan process can work, CHIPS and Science. When the Senate passed CHIPS and Science, both sides came together on an issue that impacted the nation, involved a lot of committees, inputs, and views, much like AI will. And because there was so much bipartisan overlap in CHIPS and Science as there is in AI, it makes it a lot easier to do this in a way that brings bipartisan groups together from the very beginning. So I hope CHIPS and Science can be a model for how we approach AI. I thank my colleagues, so many of my colleagues, not just the 4 of us who met, for their attention on this pressing issue. And I look forward to continuing to work with a wide range of senators from many committees and from both sides of the aisle as we move forward. Default. All week long, both sides have kept talking about the future of our nation's budget, while at the same time move closer to fulfilling our responsibility to preserve the full faith and credit of the United States. Avoiding default is non-negotiable. It must be our North Star, and that cannot change. I am pleased that over the course of this week, everyone has acknowledged that allowing the country to default would be a catastrophe. I'm also pleased that the other side has recognized the best way forward is a bipartisan piece of legislation that can secure enough votes to get through both the House and the Senate. Partisan legislation just won't produce the result we need. I am hopeful that soon both sides will find an agreement that keeps default completely off the table. We've made good progress this week, but the work continues. No one will get everything they want. From the beginning, Democrats have said, I have said, that this process demands bipartisanship. It's how we avoided default under President Trump. It's how we avoided default under President Biden. And it's how we should avoid default this time, too. Brinksmanship, hiding plans, hostage-taking, none of that will move us any closer to a solution. But working together and accepting that nobody will get everything they want is the way to go. Since the founding of our country, one thing has remained constant. When it's time to pay the bills, America has followed through. It is one of the cornerstones of our nation's success. If America would ever fail to pay its bills, The consequences would be horrific. Default would bring recession. Default would kill 8 million jobs. Default would send soaring costs on credit card payments, mortgages, small businesses, loans, and erode people's 401ks. Nobody wants that. Americans certainly can't afford it, so we in Congress must avoid it at all costs. I hope that negotiations continue in the right direction. Yield the floor.